touch on. Yeah, family. California passed a bill called SB518, and it's basically a classification for descendants of slaves over here in America. You know what I mean? But the thing is, that's good. You know, in all actuality, to a certain degree, we just gotta watch it. And some red flags though that come with that to me is, you know, this SB 518, you know, which they going to do as of 2026, I think, where though that designation to be on legal paperwork, but they discarded the SB 1403, and that would have been a little bit more tightly codified, you know, with freedmen language, and you know they would have had a freedmen board to where though they would have checked people's lineages and it would have been a little bit more specific. And this SB 518, it's gonna, they say, from what I was doing my little homework and due diligence, they say it's gonna be like a designation to where though they're gonna examine reparations more carefully, and then it's gonna be a designation on legal paperwork for descendants of slaves, but it's going to benefit the broader people who were oppressed as well. So my thing on it is, why not just go with the SB 1403, because it was a little bit more tightly codified, you know what I mean? And this new SB 518 will be overlooked by the Civil Rights Department or something. So that sounds like a, you know, bunch of nonsense that could be going on with that, even though it's a good thing, you know, on the surface. It seems like a good thing, but we just got to keep our eyes on it and watch the lingo and the language to make sure that everything's tightly codified and no tethers are slipped into, you know, the reparations process that should only go to freedmen, you know, foundational Black Americans, you know. So I was more in favor of the SB, you know, 1403 getting through there, you know, but the SB 518 got through there, and that's gonna benefit, to my knowledge and understanding, like I said, descendants of slavery, but it's also going to benefit the broader people, it was saying too. So that could, you know, we got to just watch that no tethers or no non-FBA slip through there. So I got the audio and the video of this, and we're going to talk about it. Let me pull it up, family. I think this is it.
California made headlines for creating a...
Peace to my sister Black Love. They will do what they want, but we will get what's owed, FBA. Yeah, we damn sure gonna get what's owed to us, you know what I mean? We just gotta be going to these committees, and when they discuss reparations, getting involved in our local government, you know, and going to these meetings and just going to meetings that's going on in the community, so we could keep our pulse on the climate of the community, you know what I mean, and things like that. But we got to make sure the lingo don't get shifted away from foundational Black American, you know, because I would have more liked to see that SB 1403 go through, because it was more tightly codified with the freedman status, you know, and this one just says like American descendants of slaves or something like that. It's not as tightly codified, that SB 518 that got through, but they're going to explain it in this video, family. Fair use.
New reparations office. But here's what most headlines didn't tell you. It wasn't just a name change. These were two competing bills, two visions for who should control reparations. A bill labeled SB1403, the Freedmen Affairs Agency, would have created a powerful, independent department led by lineage advocates, but it failed.
See, I would have liked the Freedmen Agency, where it could be led by freedmen advocates more than the SB 518, because that's led under the Civil Rights Department, and the Civil Rights Department got a lot of non-FBA tethers in there, to where though, you know, when we need to get things done, as far as, you know, reparations allocated, they could stall it up or try to derail lineage-based momentum.
Instead, SB 518 passed, forming a bureau under the Civil Rights Department, using broader descendants language. Now,
see, it's broader, and that can encapsulate more people, so we got to watch it. And, you know, while it is a good thing on the surface, it's just, they should have went with the SB 1403. It would have been more tightly codified, to where though people can't slip in through the back door that are non-FBA.
On paper, descendants of American slavery sounds specific. It does filter out global claims, but it also widens the door inside the U.S. Because once you replace freedmen with descendants, you trade lineage for language. That that opens space for broader interpretations and dilutes the very group this was meant to repair.
See, it should have never took out that freedman status, because that freedman status, that's federally recognized, and that's a codified term that means foundational Black Americans. With them slipping out that term, my only fear is that, the tether class don't try to slip into this that's going on with that bill SB518 out there in California. You know what I mean? While that will be it will be a designation for American descendants of slaves on paperwork, I'm hoping, that this don't become some free-for-all to where, though, the tether class is slipping in, non-FBAs.
In short, California didn't rename a bill. It chose sides. The Independent Freedmen Affairs Agency lost. The Controlled Bureau won. Thanks for watching ABF TV. Please...
Yeah, family, we just got to keep our eyes on that aspect. And when it comes to things regarding reparations and our lineage that we go into it, making sure the language is codified, that nobody else gets the benefit off the work of our ancestors and them shedding blood, sweat, and tears and building a nation and never were compensated for, they just do, they were never compensated. So we got to watch out for this, you know what I mean? And just, while it seems to be a good thing, you just never know with these folks, you know what I mean? Because they for sure as hell don't want to see us get no reparations, FBA to get our leg up in large part. And it's going to happen, but they just want to try to, the name of the game is just to stall it out as long as they can. But sooner or later, they're going to have to make good on it, you know what I mean? But moving right along, I just wanted to bring that to the family's attention.